sure I don't see any newbies here. So let's talk about what H5P is. And I'm going to do a couple of things. I'm going to go through these slides pretty quickly. I wrote these slides for a lowest common denominator for somebody that has site building or junior site building experience. And using these set of slides, they should be able to successfully install H5P and use it. So what is H5P? Let's find out. H5P, it is an abbreviation for HTML5 package. It's a free and open source collaboration framework based on JavaScript. You can create, share, and reuse interactive content like quizzes, presentations, et cetera, and we'll take a look at a couple simple ones at the end. It's also responsive and mobile friendly. And to a little bit, that's only recently become solid or robust. We had issues months ago with a client that I was doing work with of getting the content to play properly on an iPhone 6S and other things because of browser inconsistencies and that kind of thing. So there can be issues. So before you test it very, very thoroughly, because when you get something rolled out on a worldwide site and it doesn't work, and you're doing a multilingual site, you'll get complaints in 27 languages. Right now, H5P can be supported on 3 platforms. Moodle, is that the way you say it? Yep. Moodle, WordPress, and Drupal. The last usage statistics that I saw was based on the ones January of this year. Apparently, there are about 3,500 websites using the update status module. And Brandon, that in terms of what you think the actual usage is based on the use of the update module. I don't have a feel for that.
That like only 75% of people use update, or only 50% of people use update. So it's usually the number's going to be higher.
So we get to say 5,000 websites. So that's not a bad thing. And I've got all this from the Wikipedia, and you'll see the link down there on the bottom of the page. What is the H5P framework? It consists of 3 major pieces. The first piece is a web-based content editor that lets you multimedia files, text file, content types, and applications. And again, we'll take a look at that at the end of this. You'll need a website, of course, to share those content types. And there is a file format to bundle the HTML5 resources. It's a metadata file in JSON format. The library files that are provided give you the features and design for content. And then there's also a content folder that holds the text and the multimedia. How do I get started? The best thing to do is to visit the website h5p.org. And I'll say this, it is an extremely well-done website. It's quite robust. If you knew nothing about H5P and spent some time on the website, you'd be up to speed. I don't see anybody that would have any trouble at all doing that kind of thing. What I've done here in this presentation is sort of cut and pasted some shortcuts to get you there quickly. So on the website, first thing you'll find is a discussion of content types. In fact, let's see. Will this let me get there from here? Let's see.
So click it once. Just click when the box comes up, and then click like the blue one underneath.
Oh, there you go. Well, learn something new every day. Golly, as Gomer would say. So this is a quick look at the website itself, the example page. An example of most of the web type, content types that they have. The ones that I think you'll find of interest are the course presentation, where you can do dynamic content. You can create image hotspots, which we found quite useful, simple things like memory games. But the point is to give you an avenue of allows you to create gamification experience for your customer. So you're trying to, like Starbucks does, it said, let's get these stars, let's do that kind of thing. Get kids involved, win points. We use it on so the work that I was doing was for a worldwide internal training site for a large makeup company. And so they were using the gamification to attract their counter agents to win points by viewing content, knowing how to do certain kinds of things. And the people in the company took that quite seriously. We would get all kinds of complaints that the points were off by 5 or 10 points. I mean, people actually do take that quite seriously. So there is a legitimacy to that kind of thing. Okay. Let's go back. The installation, there is a link that can show you how to install H5P in Drupal under Getting Started. That second link is for those who might want a little extra hand-holding. There's a video. It will show you how to install a module if you've never done that before, how to use Drush. And that third link is simply the module itself. Now, this is a cool thing. The key here is access their site. And by using that link, you can actually and build content right on their site. I think that's pretty cool because you don't have to have wasting time getting apps because you can't get your local install. With just mild curiosity, you can go to that site and try it. So if you guys, please feel free to jump ahead while I go through the rest of these slides. Now, I just found out when I went there that you'll get an access denied, but you'll find a link to create an account on there if you want to do that and be able to create content. Explanatory, but we'll go through that here towards the end. So I did this for folks that might not be familiar with installing stuff in Drupal. Again, there's the link to get to that explanation in the video. So the first thing, of course, we would do would be to download the module. And once you get that module downloaded, you would enable modules, the H5P module and the H5P editor. And for those who want to do it in Drush, there are the Drush commands. Once you've done that, you've now got to download the H5P libraries. And the easiest approach is to install all the libraries at once. You can do it piecemeal, but it doesn't take long at all to install everything at once. So if you go to that link down at the bottom of the page, a .h5p library that I've pointed to here, that this is as of this week, the latest version. So I would download that to a local place on your server. Once you do that, we need to tell Drupal to install that. So again, if you were a neophyte, you would go to the content menu, and then under that menu, find the H5P libraries menu and click on that. And once you do that, you would choose the file there on our left with that pointed with the green arrow. Find the file on your local server and upload it. Voila, you now have the libraries and you have a new content type called interactive content. And again, for those who might not be familiar with that, there's an example of the interactive content appearing in our content. Once you've got that done, on that same install page, you will now see a list of the install libraries, and it can be quite long. The X button, of course, is for deleting a particular library. The I button pointed to by the green arrow gives you basically the version number names. So there's not a lot of information there, but now that you've got it installed, what do you do next? Well, how do we learn about the H5P content? Again, the H5P site is tremendous. Under this link right here, you a section of tutorials on virtually every kind of content type. And I'm going to try and see if I can do this again. Click on it once. So here is a list of all the content types for which you can get a quick tutorial. So it's really rather complete. Some of them are a bit weak, but I found all of them to be easy to use, and simply by looks perhaps on another machine or a small window by side to follow through, you'll create content very quickly. You might want to look at would be, again, the content types, and I took a quick look at that, but there you'll also find tutorials per the content type, and you'll also see some examples on how to use it. Again, if you don't have a Drupal installation, perhaps this is the link that I should have up there. This link will let you test drive the creation of content right on their server pretty well. What might I want to do? Well, if you're a developer and you want to make some contributions or do some custom work within your company, this is a link for the developers. tell you the current status of Drupal 8 development. Right now, it doesn't work very well with Drupal 8. There's a company being sponsored as of a couple weeks ago that think they're doing something for people to look at, but right now, H5P does not work with Drupal 8. The content type development, there's your link. If you want to customize and extend any of the content types, there you go. For those that are interested in specification, there's a specification link. And the last two links are, the second to last link is the documentation link. This is where you'll find all good things about H5P. One thing that the H5P community is looking for is our translations. So if you are multilingual or good with a dictionary and want to contribute to their translation, that's the link that you can get to contribute translations. The first H5P conference proposed will be held this year in September, and it is in Tromsø, Norway, and I'm sure I'm butchering that name. That YouTube link was put up by the H5P group out of that town. Drupal, I think, is the name, is how you pronounce your company. Beware that, notice the title of that YouTube video. It's called Begin, so dress warmly if you think you're going to go there. Additional information. Project gives you a little bit of history. There's the core team. There are two service providers right now, one of which is Drupal, which is really the home for the core team for H5P. Node link 54829, I won't go into it. They're starting to gather resources for how to present H5P to your organization. There are only a couple there now, Colorado and one from the H5P team itself. But sort of public request to help them put something together. I'll search YouTube for H5P and you'll start to find some things. That didn't want to answer them, but that's it. That's my contact information, and anybody want to take a look at how this thing actually works? Boy, look at all these excited faces.
I am excited. My question is, so you got interactive content, and I'm assuming those libraries are really heavy in JavaScript?
Purely, yes.
Is there anything in there to save results of the interaction?
Yes.
That's my.
Yes, there is. Yes, and also there are a couple modules available to do that. The makeup group that I was doing work for, we actually went in and customized the JavaScript to do with flags and rules. But yes, there are ways to do that.
So the example is that user does a quiz and they pass the quiz. Can I save it?
Yes, yes it can. That takes a little bit of coding. And in fact, at the end of this, if you want to see the actual site I worked on, I'll be glad to show that site. I have permission from the company to let us do that. So let's just take a quick look at a simple module, at a simple quiz rather. Let me go close this guy. So this is a standard Drupal 7 7.54 installation. It's stock Drupal. The only thing, two things I did was to turn on clean URLs and add the admin bar at the top. So it's a simple quiz. So Drupal version, anyone want to hazard a guess? 7? Well, let's say I was thinking about 7. Notice I'm looking at a show tip. Pick you. And I'm going to click on this tip right here. Charles isn't paying attention because I was giving his and Fito's course a plug at ACC. See, that's why you should sit in the front of the room. So if we picked that and then checked, we got 0 out of 1. So we will retry, and if we pick Drupal 8. So this is an indication of what a simple summary looks like, the point scoring system. So let's take a look at editing this thing. Okay, this is, am I going to be able to? This is what the typical editor looks like. If you go and add a new interactive content, you're going to get this window. The first thing we would want to do is pick types with which to build your H5P content. Don't change it. So you can see here is the current version. That's the question I'm asking. With that, I simply started filling in options. The first option was Drupal 8. We marked that as correct. That's how the module knew how to give us points for that. And under here, if the message, if the correct answer is selected, we would say, well done. We can say something if this is not the correct answer. This was not the correct answer. So this was a tool tip that you saw there. Again, all pretty straightforward. Since this was wrong, this was the feedback message that I gave. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell for what the general creation of content types look like. So we can do a couple of things from here. If you are interested, we can explore other content types. I get one. I'm also shaking their head, John, but well, all right. Well, let me suggest this. Do you have your machine open? No, we don't have our machine open. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of here, go to that, and let's experiment on the fly. No,
I mean, for the purpose of recording, it'd be good too.
True. And let me get rid of this right here. Okay, and get rid of this right here. And let me go find that link. And really, for the purpose of recording, I'm also going to augment these slides. Oh, that's yours, Brandon. I think I killed mine, didn't I? Killed mine. So let me see if I can find that content just on the fly here. Let's just start there. So if we scroll down, do a test drive. I think the link is, let's see, where is that link? There it is. Right to the website. And I have an account there. And it should let us log in. Okay, so I have created a couple of content types already. So you can see here, here's the work I've been working on. You can download this later. So you could actually create content here, try something you like and download it to your, if that were appealing to you. So let's create new content. We're thinking about it.
So let me interrupt. So could we create a content type? And I do it on Drupal. I deploy it on Drupal. I got a friend that's got a WordPress site.
That's a good question. I don't know what. Yes, you should be able to do that because inevitably HTML5, but I don't know what the. If you export, I don't know what the export will look like. If it's a .h5p, that's a good question. Then you should be able to import into WordPress, but I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
Good question. Here's a choice.
Oh, bless you.
Oh, we don't have that one. Well, I'll pick a one. Let's pick flashcards. How about that? Would that work? Just to give you guys another. All right, so we'll pick flashcards. Okay, so the title is Hey Doug, flashcards. Okay. What are we gonna do? What's our quiz? Mark, John, Bueller.
When is Texas camp?
When is Texas camp? Okay.
What's that question there?
This is sort of the task description that embodies the whole thing. So really, it's more like it's subject matter. So what we might want to do is say, Oh,
Flashcards, yeah.
But it's flashcards, right? So what's
Yeah,
the,
so like that, so the task would be like, learn about Texas Camp.
yeah.
You're gonna add a card there, you see.
Yeah.
Right. So here's the cool thing. We can do this very quickly and see what happens. So that's the beauty of iterate, iterate, iterate. Texas Camp quiz.
Flashcards.
Okay. We had a lovely lady give us quiz, but we'll overrun her suggestion with your mediocre one of flashcards. No, it's sorry, Mark. Please don't pick on me. All right. All right. So let's do the first one. Is Texas. Let's see. I was paying attention. June 2nd through 4th, 2017. So what does this look like? Let's go find out. We could actually add an image if you wanted to, and maybe we can come back if you guys can point me to an image. Now here we can require the user to answer that question before they see the solution. That might be good if you're doing a test, but if you're cramming for a course or something like that, you wouldn't want to check that. I would want to be able to flip the flashcard over and just double check myself and make sure I got the right answer. So, and then the options here, we'll see at the bottom the download, embed, and copyright. The download button, embed, and copyright button are there. So let's save this and see what we get. Let's think about it. Okay, so here is our flashcard. Texas Camp flashcards. Very likely. Makes me look good.
even better.
Freudian slip. Freudian slip. Yes, close. They do this every time. So we're going to say 1, 2, 3. Wrong. So
Do you have to type it in exactly?
I think you do. So let's find out. So
Their data types.
yeah,
Like
types.
numeric versus string versus.
You'd have to look at the code. I don't know. I would assume there is. I don't see a read. I don't see a read.
If you did late, you could tell the form, designate the format of the question.
I would imagine.
I want to see that copyright. Is I assume it's open source H5P. This the license viral on the content.
Let's find out. So let's. It points me to here, so I don't know. Maybe it's referring to this.
Object license.
Could be. Let's take a look at that. A standard MIT license from their TLO Technology Licensing Office. So does that answer your question, Mark?
No. Make sure if I were to create a content type, let's say I had a really elaborate.
You're asking the
quiz,
wrong guy.
let's say with
Okay.
and I wanted to sell a package. That's my question.
If it's on and you install H5P, Drupal is open source and H5P is open source. Apply to the content. Anybody who builds a Drupal
It'd be like a
website,
picture. Okay.
yeah, if you build a Drupal website, that doesn't mean your content is also open source. It's just the code. So that would apply to any content you create with H5P also.
What you're getting in an MIT open license too is this mechanism to deliver your perhaps copywritten or trademarked. Yeah. See, he's the right guy. Okay, so where were we? We were looking at flashcards. So let's say, what if I say June the dash?
Your date format.
I guess it's got to be the exact string apparently.
It's a red X, does it let you try again?
No, it doesn't, and I don't know why we're not getting a retry on this. Maybe if we had it, do you guys want another question, or does that work for you, or general idea? If you go to the tutorials that I showed you, you can go as far as delivering a video with embedded questions where it will stop and ask you this question. So it's really quite robust. So with that, you guys want to take a quick, I'll take 2 minutes and show you the website that we were using this on. And how do I stop the recording? A wise one.
No pause, please.
Well, you're not finished.
Intermediate.